In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to enable multi-factor authentication from the Microsoft Azure portal. Now, multi-factor authentication is a second kind of authentication other than your password, making sure that your resources are more secure. Without any further ado, let's demonstrate this through Azure DevOps. So, if we open a new incognito window and go to dev.azure.com to access Azure DevOps, it'll navigate us to the page. Just close this, sign in to Azure DevOps. We're going to sign in as one of our users. The username is Marvijo user1. We have not set up anything yet regarding multi-factor authentication, so this should just go through. Click on next. It will prompt for the password. Insert your user's password. We don't want to stay signed in. And there we go. It proceeds to setting up our Azure DevOps. Now we're not going to proceed. We're going to demonstrate how to set up multi-factor authentication so that we can authenticate using our mobile device. Let's close this incognito window. Now in the Azure portal via portal.azure.com, just in the search resources pane, just search for your Azure Active Directory. On the left-hand pane, navigate to users. Select the user in question that you want to enable multi-factor authentication for. In our case, it's Marvijo user1. On the left-hand pane, you'll see licenses. Now, when you navigate to licenses here on the left-hand pane, let me just highlight it for you. There we go. Under licenses, that's where you'll go to activate a license for this particular user. As you can see, there are no license assignments yet. We're just going to go to assignments. We're going to select one of our licenses. We don't need Defender. We don't need Premium P2. And actually, we don't need Premium P1, but we're just going to leave it as is. We're going to just save our changes. Our changes have been saved successfully. Now, we need to tell Azure which resources need multi-factor authentication. Now, in your directory, on the left-hand pane, scroll down to Security. Under Manage. In Security, on the left-hand pane, go to Conditional Access. Under Conditional Access, select New Policy to create a new multi-factor authentication policy. Create a new policy. Just name it accordingly. The users that we want this policy to apply to, we're just going to select here. Not to none, not to all users, but to selected users. And then we're going to select particular users. And we're going to select on the right hand pane, just that one user, Marvijo user1. Select him and click on the select button. Under grant, I'm going to grant access, but we're going to require multi-factor authentication. And then we're going to select it. Under cloud apps or actions, select that and then select apps. Under the selection, under the search pane on the right hand side, just type DevOps. There we go, Azure DevOps, select it and select and then create. It's creating our multi-factor authentication policy currently. This shouldn't take that long. Okay, it's done already. So that's perfectly done as it stands. If it gives you an error regarding a license that's required, you can start the trial to test this out. You need a Microsoft Azure AD P1 or P2 license in order to access multi-factor authentication. Otherwise, it's free for global administrators. So yeah, so now that that's done, I'll give you more information, by the way, after this demonstration, if you want to learn more about the different license types. But basically, you just need an Azure Active Directory P1 license, and it's free for global administrators. Per month, you'll pay $6 for every user if you're on a 12-month contract. If you have an Office 365 subscription, you also have access to the mobile authenticator app, SMS, and international calls as your MFA secondary authentication type. Now you might be wondering, where is the SMS going to be sent to, or which number is the SMS or call going to be sent to? Now that's a very good question. Now under your Active Directory, your Azure Active Directory, on the left hand pane, just navigate to users. Go to your specific user. Of course, you can perform this on a group level as well. We're just going to select our user now, and then if you scroll down, you'll find authentication methods. It's also on the left hand pane under Azure role assignments. You can find authentication methods there. Now this is where you set up the phone number or email address that you want the secondary method of authentication to be sent to. So that's perfect. Now we're going to try to log into Azure DevOps using the same username that we tried before in a new incognito tab. We're going to try to sign in now again. Let's close this. Sign into Azure DevOps. We're going to use the same username here. Click next. Enter the same valid password. Aha, look, now it's different. It says more information is required. Your organization needs more information to keep your account secure. That means it needs an additional level of authentication, primarily via the Authenticator app that you download on your mobile device, or via SMS, or via an international call to a number that you specified. Now we're going to select next. And here you're going to specify whether you want them to call you or SMS you the code. There we go, and they have sent us a code. Verify. Wonderful, verification successful. Then you can proceed to access your particular resource. In our case, for demonstration purposes, we can now access Azure DevOps via multi-factor authentication. So that's how we set it up. I said there are 3 types of licenses that you need to be able to use multi-factor authentication. The first one is an Office 365 subscription. The second route is through Microsoft Active Directory Premium P1 license. The third route is through an Azure Active Directory P2 license. Now, what's the difference between a P2 license and a P1 license? A P2 license has risky sign-in detection, meaning obviously it'll apply some AI to detect some funny or suspicious sign-ins, and it has just-in-time access, just for users who want to just have access at that particular time, and then you can just revoke access automatically afterwards, maybe for 2 sessions or so. It has privileged identity management for like chiefs, like CIOs, CEOs, and the likes, so you can better manage their accounts, especially if they have elevated privileges without using them, which is quite dangerous. And it has access reviews that P1 licenses don't have. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you.